All right, we're outside again, and as you can see, the sun's just going down. Anybody that's actually spent more than 3 minutes with me knows that I absolutely abhor more than anything in the world sunlight. So we're gonna try to shoot this and get you something that's fun, easy, and fucking delicious. All right, tri-tip here. Okay, tri-tip. So this is cow. Again, go to your butcher, be like, hey, can I get a tri-tip? They're gonna have one. You've got this big fat cap on the back. A very tough piece of meat, but if you marinate it, and here we'll take a shot of the marination here. You've got your sriracha. You can use any chili sauce you like. You can even use whole chilies, throw it in there, it doesn't matter. Worcestershire, impossible to spell. Main ingredient in Worcestershire is tamarind. I cannot go on more about how much I love tamarind. And soy sauce, okay? Note, this was the best soy sauce I could get at the market right now. I prefer to go to the Asian market and get Pearl River or some naturally made soy sauce, but we don't have that. Okay, so then you combine those, and it's half a bottle of the Worcestershire, a quarter of a bottle of the soy, and however much chili you like. Put that together, put it in your pan, something non-reactive like glass or plastic if you have, whatever. Let it sit for a day. If you go 2 days, that's fine. More than that, it's gonna actually become pithy. You're gonna get too much denaturing. Then I've got black pepper, which you want a lot of. You want to cover the entire outside of your meat with fine black pepper. And you do want it to be fine, because what you're looking for out of this is a burn. You want like a char. Airplane. And then we've got some crushed red chilies. I like a lot of these. I think they're great. I love it when they catch on fire. I think the complexity and just the roundness of these adds to. There's a natural sweetness in soy, and the tamarind or the Worcestershire, pretty sweet as well. Anyway, so we got a fire going. This is at 320 degrees right now. If you can get it hotter, okay, that's fine, but not much more than that. What you want is a really concentrated flame, okay? If you look at my grill here, I've only got basically however much space that this thing's gonna take up. So then you just wanna grab it, knock all the chili off into the marinade. We're going to use this too, and then once you've got it down, season the other side. A lot of pepper. God, I wish you could smell this. It's kind of nice. And then your chili. Now you can put the chili in the marinade, but you want some dried chili when you put it on the fire, because as aforementioned, it's gonna give you a really cool flavor. This you're gonna let sear the hell out of it. You want it black, like really just flame that up, but you are gonna flip it over and flame that side up as well. You're gonna actually cook it on each one of the sides. You're gonna flatten that out. We'll get to that later, but you want this to be basically cold in the middle, really pink, happy, squishy, cold, crunchy on the outside. This only takes 30-40 minutes to do once you got your fire going. Now we're gonna braise some greens with this, because I love braised greens, and this much meatiness really calls for some vegetation, and really greens are the best thing ever. I could show you how to make them, or I could just tell you. Greens, in this case we're gonna use kale. Get it in a pan with a bunch of olive oil, toss it around until it's all gooey and wet and starts to cook down. throw in an inordinate amount of garlic in there. Just chop that up, throw it into the pan. I use about 7 or 8 cloves of garlic. You can put chilies in there if you want to chili it up. I don't. And then some chicken stock, let it cook down. Veg stock if you have. Even if you don't have that, you can use water, you can use wine. You can use all kinds of things. You just want a liquid to actually get it broken down, and especially with kale, chard, really tough, toothy things. Then you just take that, let it reduce again, a little more liquid. The juice of 2 lemons, not limes, lemons. They're the yellow ones. A little bit of butter, some salt and pepper, and you're done. And then we're gonna do some corn. Rub the corn with butter. You just take whole butter. If it's warm, I don't keep butter in the refrigerator, so you just take warm butter and stroke your kernel. Yeah, that's right. I said stroke your kernel. And then some salt and pepper. You can make a compound butter if you want, with some guajillos or herbs if you want to use cilantro. Rosemary actually works really well too, but that's just another step, and by all means go for it. Once you've got that in there, close your lid, let it go for 15 minutes or so, have a drink, and be happy. Cool. All right, so we've let this go. We flipped it once. We're gonna open it up. We'll take a look at the corn. Look at that, that's happy corn. I know it's dark out here now. Oh, fireworks, it's amazing. All right, so you got this great char, crunchy, black happiness. Got the same on the other side. So then you want to stand it up. Now, what I do is I build my fire in a manner that your back has, there. So you can use the back of your grill, but you want to make sure that you have fire, direct heat underneath it there. So you're gonna let that go for probably 15-20 minutes. Pull it off. Corn will be done any second. The greens are braising away, and I can't stress how delicious this is. It's really, really good. And I'm gonna bang the drum about going to your butcher, using locally sourced, sustainable meats. We've got to put an end to factory farming. If we don't, then, well, we're all fucked. Anyway, so we'll let that go, and then we'll go ahead and butcher it off, and yeah, have a drink. All right, so we've got all of our sides. The outside should be crunchy. You've got that char, that gristly, whatever. You've got heat. So we're just gonna put it in there. You wanna let your meat rest. 15 minutes is cool. You don't need to let your corn rest. So just give it a look at it. Yeah, that's happy. Put them there. Ta-da. And then we're gonna show you how to cut this properly. I have to walk around the bushes. Okay, so we're gonna imagine that we let this rest for a considerable amount of time. If you want to let things rest for 15 minutes or so, just put a piece of tin foil around it. It won't go cold, and you'll have, what's happening is the juices are going, because of when you get it hot, everything goes, and then you want everything to evenly distribute again. So we'll take Mr. Cow. All right, so then especially with a cut like this, your grain is super apparent. It's very, the striations are super vertical. You want to bring it to where you're cutting across the grain diagonally, and you want to give this like a bias cut. Now, if you understand biasity, is that a word? I don't know, it is now. Your knife should be turned so that you're going across the grain in every manner. Listen to that. Oh God, it's good. It's good. Look at that. That's oh. And you can just, if you want to keep some of this whole, you can. I don't know how many people you're feeding. Tri-tips are not the biggest cut in the world, but they are easily kept. Look at that. This is where you get into the happy bits. We're just gonna cut one more. Look at that. That's delicious. All right, so I'm gonna grab a plate. We're gonna plate this up with our braised greens, and then we'll show you the money shot, and then we'll go from there. And well, actually, we're not gonna go anywhere from there. We're gonna be done then, and then you can make this at home while you're locked down with your million kids, and life will be okay. Cool. All right, so we've got all of this whacked up. I can't tell you how delicious this is. You just have to make it. Braised greens are all super happy. Now what I did with the braised greens is I took the marinade and I introduced some stock to it and then cooked that down. It's not the most attractive thing in the world, but it is super delicious. And if you're cooking a marinade like this that you marinated beef in, before we did the chicken, and I was like, throw that away, you're done. Especially things that had chicken soaking in it. This has been sitting in a refrigerator with the beef, and then you cook it again. A lot. The braised greens, they took about an hour. Let them go really slowly. Everything's cool. And you throw your corn on there. All right. It's not the prettiest thing you're ever going to eat, but it is super delicious. It's also something that gets you outside, gets you in the backyard grilling. If you don't have a grill, you can do this in an oven. Really high temperature. So the whole idea is to get the outside of the meat super crunchy. And if you have one of the ends, like one of these things, they're really good. Bye. Oh, it's so fucking good.